strona, wiatrem suszona.
I've been impressed by how pretty Warsaw is as a city as well, and just how peaceful the whole country seems to be. People have been so nice to us, which also helps. My name is Peter Barakan. I've been living in Tokyo for 45 years. Before that, I was born in London and spent the first 22, nearly 23 years of my life in London. My father was Polish. He was born in Warsaw in 1918. He came to London 2 years after the Second World War. So I grew up with a Polish father and a mother who was half English and half Burmese. So I'm kind of a mixed up kid. I work as a freelance broadcaster, mainly doing music programs on the radio. Music has been really important to me for about as long as I can remember. I don't know if I imagined the kind of job I would be doing as an adult in my early childhood, but when I did start to think about jobs, I couldn't imagine doing anything if it didn't relate to music in some way. I don't think I knew exactly what I wanted to do to begin with, but as most people who are really crazy about music, for a short time I probably wanted to be a musician. But I realized very quickly that I didn't have the talent to be a first-rate musician, and it didn't interest me to be anything less than that. But even now, music is the most important thing to me, apart from my family. It would be hard to say which is number one and which is number two, but probably about equal, music and my family. I need both of those to survive. Actually attending those concerts at the festival was an amazing experience. Just to see the expressions on the faces of the people as they dance. And to me, it's a very old-fashioned style of dancing in a way. It's very European, people dancing, having contact with each other, like old-style ballroom dancing almost, but a little bit more wild. I wasn't quite sure what to make of it at first, but after an hour, a couple of hours of watching these people dance and just seeing the blissful expressions on their faces, it just goes beyond any kind of you can't think about it, you just have to experience it. And I thought it was absolutely amazing. I'd never really experienced Polish food either before this trip. We've eaten so much over the last few days. I'm going to be terribly fat when I go home. We went to a restaurant where we did a workshop, and we had a meal with a chef, and it was traditional Jewish food. For dessert, she gave us some traditional cheesecake. And for some reason, it took me all the way back to my teenage years, because there was a Jewish bakery quite close to my school in London. And after school sometimes we would stop in at the bakery to have maybe a cup of tea and a cake. And I remember that the taste of her cheesecake was identical to the taste of the cheesecake we used to have then. This is back in the 1960s in London. But, you know, if it's traditional food, then I guess it would taste the same. The pierogi were really nice. In Japan, where I live now, of course, we have things called gyoza, which are slightly similar, not exactly the same. And the filling is more, it's usually minced pork with some vegetables. I guess mainly traditional food, which is fairly simple. It's a sort of cooking that is similar to things that I would have eaten in England. Everybody's having such a good time, and they're getting so just kind of sucked into the power of the music that I don't think anybody else cares whether anybody else is a good dancer or a bad dancer or whatever. It's just about experiencing the music, enjoying the vibe of everybody else being together and enjoying the same music. Everybody's getting high on the music, and that seems such an almost like a rare thing these days. Again, I thought that was quite astonishing in a really good way. There are definitely a lot more places I would like to see, so yes, I would definitely like to come back.